nothing. I forgot to put myself up on the stage. I'm just waiting on people to show up because this is going to be a juicy one today. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. This popcorn is jamming. Hey, Faith, how you doing, love? Caught me snacking. I couldn't help myself. I ain't had nothing to eat today. How you doing, love? Hi, Millionaire's Cove. I'm doing great. How are you? Hi, Yolanda. Yolanda be lurking. Hey, Tawana. Faith, I am doing wonderful. Thank you. Doing wonderful. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting live. That's to say the least. Hi, Charlotte. Everyone's doing well. Hi, Eye of Crystal. Oh, wonderful. Tell Mother I said hello. Hi, Carlos. I'm just awesome. Amen. Hi, baby. How you doing? Hi, Simone. Yeah, come on in. Hi, Dawn. I got your email. Very interesting. Yes, ma'am. I was eating some popcorn and got a kernel stuck up in my gum. Ooh, God, that had to hurt. I know how that feels. Ugh, man. And don't try to get it out with a toothpick or something. You're liable to crack your tooth in the process of getting it out. It's nothing to play with. I hope you were able to get it out okay, though. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Just when you think you've seen it all, then the new day comes. My goodness. You still paying for it, huh, Faith? Man. Good grief. Yes, y'all, hit that like button as you come in. I'm going to give people time enough to get in and get relaxed and, just relax. 'Cause we got some stuff to talk about tonight. In the meantime, I'm going to eat some of this popcorn. If I'm crunching too loud, please let me know. This is that white cheddar popcorn, too. Y'all like this white cheddar stuff? This big old bag, too. My husband picked it up from Ross. Not a bad price. $3.99. Hi, Genova. How you doing, sweetie? Yes, yes, yes. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Hi, Carlos. It is so free. Amen, Carlos. Tell him. Ain't that what Mother Jones said? Hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing. I'm doing good, Genova. How are you? Hi, Donna. How are you, sweetie? Yes, it don't cost a thing. Which everything else do. So something you can find that don't cost you nothing is a good thing. Ain't it good, Genova? Man, I could eat this stuff all day. Good. I'm good. I'm glad to see you doing okay, Donna. Oh, man. I just got to keep some tissue nearby. There's something about when I go live. It seems it never fails. I always end up, my nose starts clogging up or whatever. Hi, Daphne. How are you, sweetheart? I keep this tissue on standby, and I don't like to blow my nose and stuff on the camera. Thank you, Marzella. How are you, love? $20 super sticker right off the bat. Boy, Marzella, man, I love you. I love all of y'all, but Marzella be taking care of her sister here. I'm telling you. Oh my goodness. Hi, Jess. How you doing, love? I hope you're not in traffic right now, Jess, because that traffic is a booger. Big old booger. So you be careful out there. Yes, sirree. Marzella is, man, she is such a support. Man, sometimes, you have those people that are just, they don't say much, but man, you know they're there every time. I appreciate you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Let's see, we got 40 people in here so far. We're going to give this some time because this is going to be an interesting live, I must say. I got something to show y'all today. We kind of covered it yesterday, but this time I got the document. Thanks to a good friend of mine. Hey, LaWanda. What's good, y'all? Hey, everything is good in the neighborhood. Man, we could be worse off. Hi, India. Hi, Auntie Mickey. I saw you on Big Gene's live. Does he know you're a part of the end? He probably don't know. He ain't nobody to him. Gene ain't thinking about Auntie Mickey. I just asked him a question. But I like Big Gene. I like him. I don't get to see his stuff too often. Did you see Fat J too? You talking about Fat Joe? No, I didn't see Fat Joe. Hey, Leo the Lion. Hello, sweetie. No, I didn't see Fat Joe. Traffic in 2.5 hours. Good grief. Are you in traffic now, Jess? Wait, Fat Joe got a lawsuit too? Or am I missing something? Wait a minute. Yes, Fat Joe, his hype man got a lawsuit out on it. What? Okay, you're at Auntie's house in Federal Way. Okay. Well, stay there until later because the traffic needs to die down. Hey, shake the table. About minors? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not a good look, Fat Joe. Not a good look. Man, oh man. Yes, it is a holiday. I took advantage of it too. I sure did. Did I hear about R. Kelly? I heard that he had to be rushed to the hospital. They had given him too much of his medication and almost took him out. I haven't heard anything about him since then. Auntie, you have to be careful of Matt. Yeah, you know what, Charlotte? Maggie is going to do what Maggie's going to do, and that will be her own demise. I'm not even worried about Maggie. Ain't nothing Maggie can do to me. Not one thing. She can say all she wants. She can look at all my lives. She can even use my content. It don't make me no bit of difference. But I don't play into her hand. I don't play into all that nonsense. Other than maybe speak on her like I am now. That gives her something to talk about. And that's all she gonna get is I ain't thinking about her. Clean your kitchen. That's all I can say. Clean your kitchen. You got bigger fish to fry than to be worried about little old Auntie Mickey, because little old Auntie Mickey ain't thinking about you. You need to be worried about them other content creators is trying to run you up out of YouTube. Better leave me alone. Absolutely. Hi, Darlene. I'm sorry I missed you. I was busy running my mouth. Hi, Love Jones. Face says, well, it looks like a federal way been going on these days. Ain't that the truth? That is so true. Bigger dishes to wash. Oh, Lord, have mercy, Faith. Man, Love Jones, Fat Joe. I'm so sorry to hear that. I like Fat Joe too, but good grief, man, y'all getting into too much. Okay, Yolanda. Hey, Yolanda. It says, Millionaire's Cove, you be cooking good stuff. All I made was steak, corn on the cob, biscuits, and mac and cheese. My kids are grown. I don't cook too much anymore. But you know what, Yolanda? That sounds like a pretty good meal for one. Oh my goodness. That sounds good. Hey, let's go, Slots. How are you? Hello, hello. Hit the like button, y'all. Get them likes up. Get them likes up. Hey, Kawana. Hello, my love. Girl, Millionaire's Cove, I love me some mac and cheese too. Golly. I eat that stuff all day long. Mm. I don't cook as much as I used to. I'll cook around the holidays though, because I don't have no kids, all the time here. Right now, I do have my grandsons here, but they so busy playing. I ordered them some sushi and called it a day because that's what they wanted. I don't do sushi. I cook my food. I don't eat raw, nothing. Well, even the popcorn ain't raw, so you gotta pop it. Uh, uh, uh. Charlotte said, "I'll be so glad when she gets it because she knows how to go through your prescriber channel and she comes in as if she's you." But you know what she's doing in the process, Charlotte? She's sending more people this way. That's all that's happening. What's been going on at Auntie's house? Auntie has been busy doing some research, trying to get things together. And I got something to show y'all today if you haven't already seen it, but we can discuss it as to how it pertains to what we've been talking about lately. Yeah, you know what, Faith? Right now I have a baby and he's not eating those big meals like the older kids do, but I have older kids that'll be coming soon because school's going to be out. Then I am going to have to cook. Yeah. Oh, they have cooked sushi, Lily? Well, I done learned something new. I done learned something new. I tried kimchi for the first time today because kimchi smells so bad to me. The first time I ever smelled kimchi, I thought, who died? Is somebody around here that died or didn't wash or something? But I tried it today and it wasn't bad, so I can't I can't say much about it. I'll get around to trying it though. Yes, she is, Charlotte. And you know what? People like that, they're nasty, they're miserable, and they have no content. Exactly, Darlene. We're going to go off into that. We're going to go off into that because I'm thinking there's several different options that this could be a part of. Yep. They have cooked shrimp sushi. Now, you know what? As much as I love shrimp, I'm allergic to shellfish. So I can't eat the cooked shrimp sushi. Sam's Club has it at your local supermarket. Okay. Oh, and the local supermarket. Yeah, they closed all the Sam Clubs up here. I used to love Sam's Club. Now there's just Costco, and there's another place that's a little smaller called Cash and Carry. But yeah, yeah, the kids love the sushi. Okay, go for it. Go for what you know. Give me some good old Southern fried chicken, a pot of collard greens mixed with mustards, some fat back in there, some smoked neck bones or smoked ham hocks. It don't matter to me. Me some red beans and rice. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, hey Charles, how you doing? How you doing? They're allowed to get so far and then they snatch it from them. Yeah, that's another aspect, Charlotte. Charles, I think Charlotte, she's just more or less warning me about her. And I'm fully aware of the capability of that individual. I'm gonna be nice. I'm not studying her. Not in the least. Not in the least. Yeah, I really miss Sam's Club Let's Go Slots. I loved it. I liked it a lot more than Costco. But that's all we have right now up here. Hey, Urban. How are you, sweetheart? Okay, now this is a good time to eat my smothered pork chops. That's what I'm talking about, darling. Smothered pork chops. Mmm. Wow. Yeah, I need to start going back to Sam's Club myself. Man, if I could, I would. I will. I'd be all up in Sam's Club. I used to go to Sam's Club to get maybe 2 items and walk out of there with a whole cart full of stuff. I only meant to spend like maybe $30, not shoot, $350 later. It's like, dang. But it'd be worth it though. Make all the money so they can take it. They all falling for it. They got the big head. Yeah. I just wanted to find out how she can do that when I didn't subscribe to her to get notifications. Now that I don't understand, Charlotte. I and that might be a YouTube glitch too. I don't see how she can find out who my subscribers are and send notifications so they can show up in her chat. If that does happen, you all you got to do is exit cuz she really I mean, she ain't me. And once people see that she ain't me, they going to keep it pushing. Hey Angelina, have to go have to go tomorrow. Fish and pizza. Oh, wait. That sounds good too. She is on her comments talking to her. Oh, yeah. I saw that she put up a comment that I put on another content creators page. So, she ain't got nothing better to do. She's stalking everybody. Auntie, please stop allowing her to derail your show. Yes, absolutely. So um, it's probably a YouTube glitch, Charlotte. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. So anyway, we got 88 people in the chat today so far. I was hoping I'd get a little bit more people if they happen to get a notification. But if there's some kind of YouTube glitch, share the live with someone, and share the live with anyone you can, or just share it on Facebook if you want. But this is a lot to talk about. But she's hoping she's taking them away. She's not. She's not. She's not, Charlotte. Not happening. Not happening. So yeah, we up to 93 people. Once again, if you haven't hit that like button yet, right, the notifications do come late. And that is a YouTube glitch. I understand that. Mhm. Oh, honey, let's go slots. Nobody worthwhile talking about. Nobody worth talking about, sweetheart. Mm-mm. Ooh, LaWanda. Strawberries and whipped cream. Now that's a dessert. Matter of fact, I got a taste for some Cheesecake Factory. Oops. I got a taste for some Cheesecake Factory cheesecake. Specifically, kiwi. Yes, happy Juneteenth. Everybody in the house. Happy Juneteenth. Yes, this is the day that many ex-slaves in Texas were finally notified that they were free. 2 years, 2 whole years after the slaves were freed. Nobody bothered to go and tell them. Ain't that a mess? So Dawn said, I just made some chocolate chip cookie bars. That sounds so good. Okay. Too sweet. Derek, oh yeah. You talking about Derek Dixon. You talking about the dude that's suing what's his name? Tyler? I believe so. Derek is probably, it could be a money grab, or it could be a money grab for more than him, or it could be something else. We gonna talk about that today. Absolutely. Yes, Charles, you're right. Yep, let Maggie go. She's definitely not a threat. Never has been, never will be. Hi, C. Gonzalez. How you doing, love? So good to see you. We got 100 people in the chat right now. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not tripping on none of that others. What other content creators are doing, that's what they got going on over there. I can only be concerned about my own house. That's right. Yes, absolutely. So Charlotte, don't even worry about it anymore. Don't worry about it. Just if you're gonna be here, just be here. Keep your mind off of that over there. It's insignificant. We got enough stuff to talk about beside that. But I appreciate your concern still. Thank you. So let's see. We still have 100 people in the chat. If y'all could please hit the like button, we gonna get started in a minute. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick before I get started because I don't want to jump up in the middle of this. So I'll be right back, y'all. All right, here we go. So I hope everybody got their greetings and salutations out the way so we can get started. Um, First of all, if you guys saw the title, it's kind of different than what we had planned to do, and we were planning to talk about the movie. Hey, C. Gonzalez, good to see you're doing great. Yeah, let's hear your joke before we get started, C. Gonzalez. I'm ready to hear a joke. Hey, really dope. How you doing? I want to hear C. Gonzalez's joke so we can get off on the good foot. Darlene said, Millionaire's Cove. I am getting ready, buttering my cornbread, and going in. Blessed evening to you. All right. Joke. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Okay, that's the question. Why don't skeletons fight each other? I give up, C. Gonzalez. Why don't skeletons fight each other? Let's go, Slot says they too bony. Answer, because they don't have the they don't have the guts. That's a good one. Oh my goodness. Because they don't have the guts. Millionaires said too many bones to pick. Because they was all in the closet. Neither one has enough meat. Y'all is crazy. That's a good one, though. That's really good. Thank you for uplifting the chat. That was good. That was really good, C. Gonzalez. Man, that was nice. That was a nice little lighthearted thing to say. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I guess we lost about 4 people, but you know what? That's okay. That is okay. We gonna trudge through this. We won't be talking about the movie Straw today because we've got this document to look at. And since I think I'm a little bit more comfortable sharing my page now, I think I like to do that. Okay. So if you haven't, put a 1 in the chat if you haven't seen the actual court document. Because everyone has their own, perception as to why Mr. Derek Dixon is suing Tyler Perry. And it just came to my attention that this is like 4 years ago. Okay, so those that put 1 in the chat, you have seen it. Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people so far out of 94. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, so you guys haven't seen it? Okay, let me try this again. Put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen the court documents. Put a 1 in the chat if you have not seen the court documents. Okay, really dope hasn't. Okay. Okay, so several of you haven't seen it. Okay. Okay. Well, today you're going to see it. You're going to get a first-hand peek at it, including the text messages that I read yesterday. There's a lot. Derek, let's go slots. Derek is the gentleman that's suing Tyler Perry. He's one of the stars on The Oval. He was one of the actors that played on The Oval. There's a Tyler Perry TV show. I believe it was on BET. I believe that, Faith. Absolutely. And see, here's another thing. nobody really said this to my knowledge, but I thought Dr. Charles Bennett said no celebrities, but it's your channel. Um, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So whether he said no celebrities, I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So I'm gonna talk about what I feel like talking about. No shade, just yep, yep. Okay, here we go. Distraction. Absolutely. Here's the thing. If you look at the title of this live today, I titled it Money Grab, Setup or Something Else. Hey, that's it, Queen. Yeah, I hear you, Piri. But like I said, people say a lot of things, but I know I serve the same God. And he can talk to me just like he can talk to anybody else. If he want me to know something, he gonna tell me directly. And again, no shade to anybody else. But I serve the same God that anybody else who has a connection with him and his word may have a word for people. So, yeah, LaWanda, we going to touch on that because that's what I meant by the something else. Because it could be a matter of a money grab. It could be a setup. You see what I'm saying? Or is it something else? Something else meaning to tie it into what we are all or have all been here in the past about, and that's Angie Stone. Now, a couple of things could actually play into this. Definitely more to this. Because if you look at this document, so far I haven't seen anything that warrants a $260 million payout. I haven't seen it. There has never been any penetration to speak of. Hey, Carmela. Exactly. Why soon now? Why soon now? It's about timing. A lot of it has to do with timing. So let's explore some of these possibilities. Now, of course, it could be a money grab on behalf of this one individual that filed this lawsuit. It could possibly be a collaboration of he and another individual. And when I say another individual, let's just call a spade a spade. Okay? He didn't meet Tyler on his own. I'm going to say that again. He did not meet Tyler on his own. Okay? This gentleman that is the lead event coordinator, Tony something, I don't remember his last name. And that first name gets on my nerves too. And I'm going to leave that alone. But, oh, these pop-ups, I swear to you. This gentleman that works as the lead event coordinator for Tyler Perry, has been said to be the fixer, so to speak, or I won't even call him a fixer. He's the guy that apparently sends guys Tyler's way. You know what I'm saying? Who's to say that they both didn't get together and say, hey, I'm going to send you over here. Check him out. And you get him all, just get him interested in you, you know, and reap all the benefits of knowing this man. Okay, Faith, hey, we here. We here. We here. Who's to say? Hey, Alfreda. Who's to say that it's just this one guy that came up with this brilliant idea to sue Tyler Perry 5 years after he met him, after he got a good part on a show? This man had absolutely no acting experience whatsoever. None. That's right, Darlene. And if you read these text messages, as we will, he was careful with the words he stated in return to Tyler. Okay? But he certainly didn't say, leave me alone. He didn't say, I'm not interested in you in that manner. He didn't hear none of those words come out on those text messages. None. Exactly. They love me. He didn't. And again, Tyler should have been more vigilant. When you got that kind of money, you're going to have people coming at you in all shapes, sizes, and angles. Yes. You got that right, C. Gonzalez. If it even happened at all, LaWanda, if anything even happened at all, and who's to say anything didn't happen? Perry says, I personally think there was an affair, but it's definitely a collaboration. Let's keep it real. He's a boy. He will get something. No truly straight man sticks around after being improperly touched. Amen to that. I know a brother would clock him, don't care how much money he get, and then sue him on top of it. Oh, bless your heart. They love me. I seen you. You didn't have to say nothing. I love you. But again, there's one final thing. Hi, Cora. Hi, Cora. How you doing, sweetheart? Here's the third thing. Who's to say? Just listen, just hear me out. Who's to say that some higher up people aren't doing this to him? Yes, dear. I found out about it, Holly, earlier in the chat. Thank you, Jess, for the $2.99 super sticker. God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you. Y'all follow me on this. Because remember, we in the Angie Stone sector, remember? We in the Angie Stone sector. How do we know that somebody else didn't orchestrate this little lawsuit? Because Tyler might have been helping to get down to the bottom of Angie's royalties. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Yes, they love me. They love me says, I thought about that too after he said he paid actors more than anyone. They might not like that. Well, I tell you what, he was paying them actors anywhere from $600,000 to $1 million per season. Per season. Now, Taraji, she went out and says, Tyler's paid me the most out of everybody else, but he was paying them clear people on that show 600 grand minimum per season. I don't think so either. But I can certainly say this, Catherine. It's certainly a distraction. It could certainly be someone trying to keep him from moving forward on something that we haven't really been touching on. Exactly, shake the table. He's not a dumb. Tyler is not stupid. Exactly, Faith. Exactly. He definitely, look, I totally agree that Tyler has some accountability in here. Okay, let me see. Shake the Table says, why didn't Tyler have him sign an NDA? Shaking my head if this is. Yeah. There's a lot of what ifs and why didn'ts and all that stuff. You know, when you get that kind of money, sometimes they just don't think. You putting your trust in people. They knew each other since they were what, 2021? Yes, Angelina, I sure did. Do you remember Christian Keys came out last year saying Tyler grabbed his private area? Sure did. And guess what? He never mentioned Tyler's name. And then all of a sudden, he didn't talk no more. Now, no more. Didn't file a lawsuit or nothing. Now, we can come up with all kinds of scenarios, but common sense would tell me somebody got paid before it got to this point. Allegedly. Allegedly. Because Tyler's the man that can make that happen. But he could also make other things happen as well. Now, let's not forget that this man paid for Angie Stone's funeral. Angie Stone had 3 services in different areas, and they didn't drive her to those places. Tyler got up at that service. If those of you that saw the service saw what Tyler got up and said in his speech, that was one of the most memorable times of that whole service. Where is her money? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Absolutely, they love me. Yeah. Hi, Ninja Star. Hello, sweetheart. Long time no see. It's good to see you. Very ironic, Eye of Crystal. Tyler is still hot. Now, Angelina, I didn't know about this one, and it was said that he wants to make a movie of that funeral. Crazy. Yes, they are backing off of Angie Stone. But here's one more little tidbit to add to the pot. We may not be able to get down to the bottom of Angie Stone. However, who's to say that this isn't something to distract what happened with Angie Stone? Because Tyler was hell bent on finding out what happened with this woman's money. Now, if he was just giving us word salad, so be it. The rest of it applies. Either this white boy is jamming him up, or both of them is jamming him up, and Angie Stone has nothing to do with it. But just in case that's not the case, just in case he's been a very behind the scenes, really trying to help the family out in retrieving her royalties. Why wouldn't the higher ups throw a monkey wrench in that scenario? Who's to say? Who's to say? They don't want him to get to the bottom of it. Absolutely, Urban. I honestly believe that there's a possibility. I honestly believe there's a possibility. This ain't just, if it ain't just a straight up money grab, there is a possibility that someone even higher than him, who will remain nameless, Clive Davis, allegedly, is trying to distract the public and trying to distract Tyler. Yeah. So I'm just dropping that little what if. Shake the Table says Tyler purchased the land at Fort McPherson, a Confederate military base, and they are mad about that. Then he built his music studio on the land. Imagine that. What is this black man doing purchasing this military base? Who the heck does he think he is? I mean, really. You know what I'm saying? They Love Me said, yes, Auntie Stone Paxton stated Tyler team even reached out to him to figure out how he knew Angie. So he was trying to figure it out. I believe that. I believe that Tyler was making a valiant effort to try to find out what happened to Angie's royalties. I believe that. And he has the money to get down to the bottom of things that us little content creators can't get down to the bottom to. Let's be real about it. We just YouTubers. Tyler Perry got billions. Micah, they haven't even touched on Angie's case. That's really the sad part about it. The major news networks have all moved on from Angie's case. They never touched it to begin with. They didn't move on because they never touched it. All they said was, happy Saturday on this March 1st, 2025. And the latest in our newsroom. R&B artist Angie Stone was tragically unalived. This YouTube garbage. Tragically unalived in a tragic car accident today. Now the weather. That's how they treated it. It was just a little blip. Just a little blip. When all is said and done, and I don't mean to sound racist or anything like that, but I'm just gonna say what I gotta say. When you've got a black billionaire, there's some people that don't like that, especially if that black billionaire has the means to bring justice to black people in some shape, form, or fashion. I agree, Puri. I believe that too. Stone has never lied. To my knowledge, that man has never lied about anything. Ain't caught him in a lie. Ain't caught him in anything that could be construed to be a lie. He's just a regular dude. He's a downer. He's a good guy. And he's about his business. He has all the credibility. He has all the receipts to be credible. So, ain't no sense in them bothering this man. Leave Stone alone. That goes for all these other content creators out here that want to drag him through the streets because you ain't got nothing better to talk about. Leave this one alone. He ain't bothered nobody. He ain't bothered nobody. And people want to say all these crazy things about him because he had a relationship with Angie Stone. How dare you? How dare you? Don't let that curl fool you. Don't let that curl fool you. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just like I tell y'all, don't let the light skin fool you. Don't let that curl, that one little curl that falls down, don't let it fool you. He ain't to be played with. Tyler Perry and Stone will fight for Angie Stone royalties. They love her. Exactly. And that is why I'm saying what I'm saying. The possibility is there. The something else that I was referring to is what I'm saying. See, everybody's thinking, oh, Derek Dixon, he's trying to get a come up. And yeah, he's been knowing this guy for 4 years, 5 years, whatever. But this didn't just drop him into an attorney's lap just out of the blue. There has to be a reason behind it. There has to be a reason behind it. And it could be one of 3 things, or maybe 4. Who knows? Word up. All right, Cameo. No, that ain't him. you ain't going you ain't going to compare Stone to Larry Blackman. No, thank you. But why all of a sudden now, LaWanda? Why? I mean, think about it. We all been digging and digging and digging and digging, trying to find out what happened with Angie. And then this happens. People are mad. There's some mad clear people. There's some mad black people too. And just a side note, Oprah, you better be careful too. Because at the end of the day, you still black. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are still black. And you are a billionaire. And haters will hate. Especially when you great. Just be careful. Be careful how you treat your own people, let alone them other people. Because honey, the setup is coming. Don't be shocked when it happens. But why now? Again, why now? Yeah. Why now? Are you trying to stop Tyler from getting to the bottom of something? Fonda said, Auntie, that's a dilly-wah, not a curl, by the way. I love Stone. I do too. I don't know what it's called. I just call it a curl. It just falls, It just does its thing. He does his thing. He ain't concerned about what people think about him. He doing his thing. He doing his music. He's doing his YouTube channel. He ain't bothering nobody. He's bringing content to the platform for people to be aware, not just black people, white people, all people. He's bringing stuff to the forefront to be aware of what's going on in our community now. So many different topics we should be talking about. But right now, we talking about Derek Dixon suing Tyler Perry. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start showing you this document. Okay? Let me share my screen. Okay, here we go. Let me get this off here. There we go. Is that big enough for y'all to see? Should I make this a little bit larger for y'all? Put a 1 in the chat if you would like me to make this just a tad bit larger. I think I can make that happen. If I can't, then I can't. It ain't gonna let me. I hope you guys can see that. Let me see. Is there some way I can make that larger? Fit to width. How about that? Okay. I did. I emptied all my tabs, sweetie. Perry says, what got me, it actually had me chuckling. Dixon said Tyler came in to give him a night hug. I know, I saw that too. What straight man is going to be that comfortable with a night hug? He made it out like no biggie. Well, the fact that he spent the night there in the first place. Okay, good. I hope you guys can see. So let's look at this. Okay. Of course, attorney for plaintiff Derek Dixon, Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles, unlimited jurisdiction. Derek Dixon, an individual plaintiff versus Tyler Perry, an individual, TPS Production Services, LLC, a limited liability company, and Action LLC, a limited liability company, and does 1 through 50 inclusive. The complaint here is number 1, quid pro quo, actual harassment. Number 2 is work environment harassment. Number 3 is actual harassment, Ralph Act. Number 4 is workplace gender violence. Number 5 is violation of Bain Act. Number 6 is actual battery. Number 7 is actual assault. Number 8 is negligent retention. Number 9, intention, infliction of emotional distress. And number 10, retaliation. Yes. Imagine that. And of course, it says here, demand for jury trial. I haven't seen that in a lawsuit in quite some time. Demand for jury trial. They want this to go before a jury. They're not even trying to settle out of court. Okay? So let's go on down here to the complaint. Summary of action. Number 1, plaintiff Derek Dixon. Plaintiff files his complaint against defendant Tyler Perry, a.k.a. Emmett Perry Jr., parentheses Perry, TPS Production Services, LLC, TPS, and Action, LLC, in parentheses, AA, together defendants, alleging as follows. The following complaint is pled on information and belief. This case arises from a sustained pattern of workplace sexual harassment, assault, and retaliation perpetuated by Tyler Perry, a powerful media mogul, against plaintiff Derek Dixon, a professional actor and screenwriter. When did that happen? I thought he was a waiter when he first found him. But anyway, I digress. Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright. Oh, you know what? I blew it. Against plaintiff Derek Dixon, a professional actor. Okay, they're saying that he was a professional actor and screenwriter. So who are they talking about, Tyler or Derek? Anyway, Mr. Perry is an American actor, filmmaker, and playwright who has built one of the most successful careers in the film and television industry. Mr. Perry took his success and power and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities, such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault and battery, and professional retaliation when Mr. Dixon did not reciprocate Mr. Perry's unwanted advances. These events occurred while Mr. Dixon was employed as a series regular on the Tyler Perry show, The Oval, and while Mr. Perry held direct control over his employment, compensation, and creative opportunities. Number 4. Tyler Perry rose, against all odds, to become one of the powerful figures in the entertainment industry. His success story, once a symbol of perseverance and self-made achievement, has now become a cautionary tale of how unchecked power, wealth, and influence can corrupt those who attain it. Among other contracts, Perry received a lucrative multi-year partnership with the Oprah Winfrey Network, and his net worth tops $1.36 billion. Number 5, Tyler Perry's rise to fame and fortune elevated him from a powerless victim to a figure of tremendous wealth, influence, and power, culminating in the ownership of his own film studio. Number 6, rather than using his influence responsibly, Tyler Perry has engaged in a pattern of misconduct where he exploited his position of power. Number 7, Tyler Perry has been using his power and influence to molest, abuse, and sexually assault impressionable and vulnerable employees and actors who took to him for guidance and mentorship while pursuing their dreams. Number 8. Just like Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Sean P. Diddy Combs, Kevin Spacey, and Roger Ailes, and many others in the industry, Mr. Perry's success has led him to believe that money and influence can get him whatever he wants. That belief slowly transitioned into the false idea that Mr. Perry can get whomever he wants. There are things in life that money cannot buy. Number 9. Mr. Perry sought the one thing his wealth and influence could not purchase: an actual relationship with a man who would remain silent. Guess he was wrong about that one. Perry told Mr. Dixon that his ideal relationship would involve a male actual partner who he could provide for and who would be loyal but emotionally detached. Let me read that again. Perry told Mr. Dixon that his ideal relationship would involve a male actual partner who he could provide for and who would be loyal but emotionally detached. Come on, man. Perry told Dixon, whoever ends up with me is going to be a happy mother, you know what. I didn't get to redact that one. Some of these words I missed. Please forgive me. In essence, Mr. Perry desired a one sided, coercive dynamic with a subordinate, an arrangement devoid of mutual consent or emotional reciprocity. Thus began Perry's calculated pursuit of Mr. Dixon. Number 10. This was not Mr. Perry's first instance of actual exploitation. He has demonstrated a troubling pattern of exploiting vulnerable male actors and employees, leveraging his industry power to create a cycle of hope and dependency. First, he offers aspiring actors the prospect of career defining opportunities, roles that promise visibility and advancement. Then, once they are in his professional orbit, he uses the weight of his influence to ensnare them, positioning their success as contingent on meeting his demands in a quid pro quo sexual compromise. This pattern of behavior reveals a calculated use of professional power for actual leverage. Number 11. Using his influence, Mr. Perry provided vulnerable men with acting positions, roles, show contracts, cars, and money. Once the object of his desire was hooked, Tyler Perry would then put them in fear of losing it all unless they engaged in Mr. Perry's perverted desire for actual gratification. Mr. Perry would easily kill off a character in a show of an actor who failed to indulge Perry's actual fantasies. Number 12. Yeah, this is one of the text messages right here. In one such exchange, Perry stated that he could fix things because the actors of a show he was filming should all be scared because they were all shot at the at and wait, because of a show he was filming should all be scared because they were all shot at and we don't know who lives, meaning that Tyler Perry was going to use this as a tool to gain compliance with his desires. Now, I'm sorry I can't make this any larger. I really wish I could. It'll take me forever to figure it out, but nevertheless. If you look at this text message, it says, this is Tyler up here, where you see this, the white part. You see where I'm kind of moving the cursor. This is Tyler. But I swear to you, I know how to fix this ish. I redacted that out. I love killing a mother in a show that no one expects. And then Derek says, you could be sipping Mai Tais counting coconuts right now. Okay. So Tyler says, think about the last episode. They are all shot at. We don't know who lives. And Derek says, exactly. Catherine, I'm not going to go through this whole thing. You got me twisted. I'm just pointing out some little things here. But he says, "I'm scared. They should be too." And Tyler says, "Nope, they're not. Last I checked, we all got the same bullets in us." Number 13. Derek Dixon was Mr. Perry's actual desire ever since they became acquainted. Dixon was working as part of the event staff for a party hosted by Mr. Perry when Perry noticed him. Perry immediately offered Dixon the chance to audition for a part in one of his TV productions. Now, where's the mention of Tony in this? I don't know. This Tony guy. Number 14. Dixon agreed and was on set with Perry behind the camera for weeks in closed quarters. I'm going to read that again. Oh, no, honey. I ain't going to do that today, Catherine. Time is of the essence. Dixon agreed and was on set with Perry behind the camera for weeks in closed quarters. Now, there's a red flag for me right there. He was behind the camera for weeks in closed quarters with Tyler. Really? But he wanted you? When did he decide to come up on you like that? During the time they were filming, Perry would send flirtatious text messages to Dixon. For example, in one message, Perry stated that he was jealous when he saw Dixon going on a walk with another man named Brad. "Why did that photo make me jealous? You two together," is what Tyler says. Derek says, "Ha ha, I don't know. It's just Brad, LOL." And then Tyler says, LOL. And then he says, "He just wanted to go for a quick walk to get his steps in. And now I'm walking to Chipotle by myself. LOL." Tyler says, "Thick Derek, get that Chipotle." Alrighty. In another message, Perry stated to Dixon, "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ." Here's the text message. "What's it going to take for you to have guiltless sex? Have y'all found that yet in therapy? Yes, it's the exact same kind of car, Geo Metro." And then Derek says, "Giving up my religious guilt, becoming a Buddhist? That's so cool. Where you came from?" "Unfortunately, Derek, I have friends who are in their 50s and 60s who are still dealing with that, and it's so sad." You can have freedom from religious guilt and still believe in Christ. Yeah. Number 16 says, plaintiff carefully navigated a friendly demeanor to prevent the loss of income and opportunity on the one hand, and on the other, a firm boundary against Perry's advances. Often when Mr. Perry started drinking, he would demand more attention from plaintiff and get more aggressive with his flirting. Number 17 says, on one occasion, when Mr. Perry was drinking, he started to become extremely annoyed when Mr. Dixon avoided him. Mr. Perry stated that of the 600 people in his phone book, he only wanted to talk to Mr. Dixon. That's not quite what it said, but I'll just read it anyway. "Treat myself right. What are you doing, Derek?" Y'all remember how that one movie's, I guess he was imitating that chick. So he says, just talking to my sister. And so Tyler says, I roll. Fine. Good night. I'll go through the 600 people in my phone book and be annoyed that I don't want to talk to any of them. So they just assume that he's the only one he wanted to talk to, I guess, without him just saying that. So he says, trying to get off so I can go to sleep, LOL. Tyler says, I understand, LOL. Derek says, LOL, apparently you're not the only one that's been drinking tonight. Tyler says, I just started. They didn't, LOL. Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the actual innuendos, Dixon's character would perish in the next season. Indeed, Dixon's character, Dale, was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of his first season on the Oval, and Perry always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy. I'm going to stop right there. Okay, I'm going to the chat. Let me reduce this down for a second. So, what happened? What did I do? I done messed up. No, I did. It's right there. So, let's see what the chat has to say so far. I'm going to go up a little bit. Let me go way up here. LaWanda Jackson says, why all of a sudden now? Darlene says, and he built his own empire on his own jealousy from others in power, and they are mad. That's an interesting take, too. Very plausible. Very plausible. Let's go down some more. They love me, Sid. That's what I want to know. Why now? Carlos says, one by one, they trying to shut us down. Fonda said, that's a dilly wall. Faith said, if she takes up for him, it's going to be all out war. You talking about Oprah, right? Faith. I wouldn't doubt it. Come on, Auntie, break it down. Okay, this remind me of Black Wall Street in a way. Look, Tyler like what he likes, and it ain't my business. However, he does appear to be helpful when needed. Alfreda says Tyler Perry and Stone spoke for Angie Stone, held back her money all these years. That's right. Perry says, what got me, it actually had me chuckling. Dixon said Tyler came in to give him a big night hug. Unquote. What straight man is going to be that comfortable with a night hug? He made it like no biggie. That is very interesting. If you know somebody's coming on to you, are you gonna really hug them when it's night time? Kind of far fetched. But then in the same token, we're all looking at this with open minds and all the possibilities. Because one possibility that isn't listed in this title is, what if it's true? You know, what if it's true? Peary says Dixon betrayed himself. They could also be trying to get Tyler out of the closet, which would derail everything. So you have a pound. I'm not sure what a pound is. Point. A pernt. I have a pernt. Oh my goodness. Millionaire's Cove says, I truly believe that they are just trying to take down a wealthy black man. Yeah. We would generally think that that would be the case. But is it true? We can only speculate. But one thing is for sure. Here's some facts for those that may not know. He is being sued. Faith said it. Tyler got too comfortable with this man. Either way it goes. Because they were texting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the way that this young man responded, he didn't say no. He didn't say yes. But he sure enough held on to these text messages a long time. Yeah, we should we need to step back and take a look at all the brothers that are going down one by one. I mean, we can go as far back as when they did it to Michael Jackson. Remember when they charged Michael Jackson for molesting them kids? The king of pop couldn't escape because at the end of the day, they said, you know what? You just another ninja too. Stay in your lane, boy. At the end of the day, the powers that be had to show Michael, yeah, you the king of pop, but we can get to you too. And when it was all said and done, he was found not guilty. But he was never the same. You're right, Faith. Peary says, I said about 2 years ago talking with a friend, I'm sure Hollywood is not happy with blacks in power positions. This was after Cosby, although it started with him. Then Diddy gets charged. Yeah, it didn't start with Cosby, actually. Because don't forget, R. Kelly happened before Cosby. Michael happened before R. Kelly. Yep. But I believe that they sat back and they held on to this information for a most opportune time as this. Now, I don't know what the rest of this document says. It's going to take all night for me to read through this, and I'm not about to do that. But it's very curious to me, the timing. The timing. Eye of Crystal. She says others are accused of the same thing allegedly, and nothing is said or reported. Swept under the table. Honey, it ain't even swept under the table. They let it sit right out there on the table and just don't say nothing. I mean, if you think about it, all the things that they talking about Diddy, they talking about what Diddy did, but they ain't talking about what them other stars that were there at them freak offs, what they did. They ain't talking about that. It's all on video. They don't release that to the public. They just drop names sometimes. They drop them names and make you kind of envision what could have been going on, whether they were doing something or not. But they're not telling on those people. And a lot of those people were of a different persuasion. Ellis, Ellen, what's her name? Ellen DeGeneres. Didn't she bounce the country? She got ghost, didn't she? She got up out of here quick, fast, and in a hurry. Who else bounced up out of here that we don't talk about? Yeah. Ellen DeGeneres bounced out of this country so fast it'd make your head spin. Anybody seen Ashton Kutcher around anytime? Anybody heard about him lately? He was hanging tough with Diddy. Leonardo DiCaprio. Anybody seen him around? Ain't seen none of these cats. Rosie O'Donnell, what's she been up to? Yet, let's go slots. I would also like to think that he was smarter than that. But that court system, boy, especially if you got text messages that you've been saving for 4 years, man, they can create any narrative they want if they put their minds to it. And again, I'm also looking at that the dude that this guy was working for. You're right, Faith. They never did say. They never said Dixon's sexuality, though. That's isn't that interesting? They never said if he was straight or not. But they don't say what he did do. They showed a bunch of text messages and his side of the story. But do we know that to be completely true? I mean, we do know, according to the court documents, that at some point in time they were drinking together. At some point in time, they were so drunk that this dude had to spend the night in Tyler Perry's uh, spare house, spare room, spare house. So if you listen, let me put it like this. If you know that somebody is trying to get in your drawers and you don't want him to get the drawers, are you going to stay at their house? Boss or no boss? Are you really going to stay at his house? Are you going to stay at his house overnight? Thank you, Millionaires Cove, for the $10 super chat. You're doing amazing work. Thank you. Love you, Auntie. Keep going. Oh, I'm trying, sweetheart. I'm just trying to use some plain and common sense. Because there's so many little pieces to this that could be the truth or could not be the truth. You know, this man has the capability to pay this dude off. That's true, they love me, but guess what? Let me tell you something. I promised, or it says, I absolutely would not, but he probably feared the consequences. If he didn't, I don't know. Well, here's the deal. Whatever the consequences may have been, he still ain't got no money. Going through all them changes. He don't get it twisted. Tyler took good care of this man. He had cars, he had a nice apartment. He hooked him up. Keefa Mott says, I truly believe this is a setup, period. Tyler Perry is about business. Don't believe he would jeopardize his empire, but what I have noticed is the clear people are taking the black man down. That might be the case, but you know what, Keefa? They're getting a lot of help from the black man. You can't blame it all on the clear people. They may play a role in it, but if you don't give somebody a reason, if you don't give them ammo, I'll say ammo. If you don't give them ammo, what can they take down? Faith said, you got to remember they did the same thing to Oprah in the African Girls School. Well, I tell you, that's why it's good to have more than one possibility, because there's different things to ponder. This could be a money grab from one individual that got greedy. We talking about somebody coming from nothing. Somebody came from nothing to something much bigger than he could have been on his own. He came from nothing. He was a waiter. All of a sudden, he's on a big TV show, and Tyler Perry has got eyes for him. And he took advantage of it. And then there's the guy that he worked for when he was a waiter. That guy worked for Tyler too. Carol Curry made a very good point. Something went wrong between the two. Jealousy may be it. Possibly. Possibly. But one thing is for sure, they only have one person's side of the story on those court documents. One side of the story on those court documents. Now, what if Tyler comes back and says, nope, this didn't happen. This didn't happen. No, you did this to me. I didn't do it to you. You did it to me. Who's to say? The only difference is that one is coming out with a lawsuit and the other one has the money to pay him off. You're right about that, Keefa. There is a cost for fame and fortune. At least that's what it seems like to me. You're absolutely right. In today's society, best bet is to just, get a trade. Get a trade. Pretty soon, it ain't gonna matter no way. Pretty soon, it ain't gonna matter no way. We don't even watch TV the way we used to. There's not a big market right now for movie stars and TV stars the way it used to be. We got YouTube. Holly says, "Yeah, I agree with you, Carol, or else Tyler tried to break it off and he didn't want to, or maybe the other guy was trying to go public with their relationship and it made him mad, so he broke it off." Yeah, the court documents said that he wanted a relationship with somebody who was emotionally detached. How many people do you know that want to be in a relationship where they don't have to acknowledge that relationship? You know, just get all the stuff they can get out of it. I agree with that. Yeah. I of Crystal, if Tyler wanted a man, I'm sure he could have done better than Dixon. But in the same token, he might have thought he was mighty pretty. He had some pretty lips. And ooh, look at that round booty. And he broke. He broke because he's a waiter. I can get him. I can get him. I just throw a few dollars over this way, get him a little car, get him a nice little apartment, and you know, and I should be able to get in there. But you let this guy tell it he didn't get what he wanted. After 4 years, you gonna tell me that Tyler tried for 4 years to get in them draws? Are you kidding me? I mean, come on now. This is 2025. This is 2025. How many people wait 4 years to give up the draws? I'm just saying what I'm saying. Somebody hung around for a long time not to be getting them draws if they wasn't getting them draws. Or somebody else knew about it and said, "Don't say a word, and let's get them at the most opportune time, and we can split the profits." When I say that, I'm talking about the man that introduced him in the first place. Absolutely, Micah. You're absolutely right. Carol says, "Yes, Auntie Mickey, there's always three sides to the story: mine, yours, and the truth." That part right there. Absolutely. Because for some reason, I still got Angie in the back of my mind in all this. I can't help but remember that funeral service when he got up and spoke those eloquent words. Where is her coin? Where is it? He paid for that woman's funeral. He flew her body from point A to point B so they could have more than one service. Distraction not to talk about the number one movie straw. And you know what? We ain't gonna give them all that. We gonna talk about that too. Absolutely. And it is possible to be true, Angelina. I mean, we haven't put a dent in this document, and we close to 2 hours. But we'll have more time to talk about it if you guys even want to continue to talk about it. Would you guys like to read some more? I'm gonna leave it up to you. If you want to read some more of this document, I'll be happy to bring it back up and we can go through some more pages. If you want to move on to straw and talk about the good things about Tyler Perry, we can do that as well. I'm all in your brain, Faith. But yes, I would love to talk about straw. But I just wanted to plant that seed that not everything we see is the truth. Yes, it's true that there's a lawsuit. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a setup from the start, but him talking about Angie Stone was the perfect time for them to bring this out. Isn't that ironic, Faith? Exactly. Exactly, Carmela. I think they were playing each other. And guys have a tendency to be vindictive as well. Women are not the only ones that can be vindictive. Exactly, Holly. I agree, Angelina. There's so many reasons that this person would go after him. And don't be surprised. I'm just going to give you this little tidbit. Don't be surprised if somebody else don't come out the woodwork. Don't be surprised. It seems to be that that's always the case when something like this drops, then here comes somebody else. Oh, well, I got something. What? Check this out. Want to be relevant. You know what I mean? And it might be true too. Who knows? But all it takes is one person. All it takes is one person to bust a move. I just want to know why you waited 4 years. Why you held on to these text messages for 4 years. Tyler Perry got 3 more movies coming out on Netflix. Oh, he gonna be fine. 3 more movies? Shoot. That man ain't gonna miss a beat. Yes, he has, Angelina. He's done a lot of good for a lot of people. But this part right here, you're right. He wouldn't have tried for 4 years because once he couldn't get in them draws, he would have moved on to the next person. Hello. Hello. That there boy wasn't the finest thing walking on the set. He wasn't close to the finest on the set. And Tyler is not that hard up or defiant. I'm going to get that at all costs. He ain't stupid. Absolutely. He ain't stupid. But I just think it's awfully strange that a man would hold on to those receipts for 4 years and claim to have never given up the draws. Because in today's society, they jumping in bed quick. Hi, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Let's go to bed. before they even get a test. You ain't even made no effort to see if this person ain't got AIDS or anything else. Auntie, I would like to hear from some of the women who says they been actual comprised. Compromised, you mean? He probably wouldn't the finest, but he was his pick out of the litter. Yep, he was something. But that's a long time if you didn't get what you was looking at some point in time, you going to walk away. Go find you somebody else. Ain't nobody in their right mind going to try to get something for somebody for 4 years and never get what they came to get from that person. It don't work like that. It don't work like that, especially in today's society. I ain't trying to front. Yep, because it could very well have been Tyler saying, "No man, I'm not interested. Think about it. I'm not interested in you like that." But them text messages, they kind of let me retract that statement. Them text messages was kind of clear who the aggressor was. But it definitely smells like a setup. Definitely smells like a setup or a collaboration of some kind. Money grab. You can put whatever title you want to it. But what if is none of the above and it's actually about Angie? Because for some reason, Angie's still in the back of my head. Who's to say that that's not the real reason? He was getting too close to finding something out. That big black billionaire mogul. We can't let him take us down up here. The others have tried. Oh yeah, there's some truth to it. I believe that. There's always truth to a lie. It's just what part of the lie. What part is truthful and what isn't? How much of it is true? How much of it isn't? That's a possibility, Holly. But look how long Diddy has been going through his thing. Diddy's mansions were raided back in what, September of last year. What a tangled web we weave, huh? Yep, that's a dirty business. Exactly, Faith. I really believe that there's got to be something Angie related in this. Something just tells me the timing is just so. Mm. I don't know what happened to Smokey's thing. I haven't kept up with that at all. You right about that, Peary. A statement can be truth and lie. That's why we have lawyers, and lawyers lie like nobody else, even in Shakespeare. That is so true. Yes, Angelina, I do pray that Angie gets the money. For real, for real. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share a few more pages of this, if you don't mind, just to give you a little bit more context. Okay, for some reason, it's not pulling up on this other page, so I'll just read it from here. Let me stop sharing. Let me try this again. Okay, let me go down where I was. Okay. Number 18 says Dixon did his best to tiptoe around Mr. Perry's actual aggression while keeping on Mr. Perry's good side. Mr. Perry made it clear to Dixon that if Dixon ignored Perry or failed to engage with the actual innuendos, Dixon's character would die in the next season. Indeed, Dixon's character, Dale, was shot 4 times in the chest at the end of his first season on the Oval, and Perry always held this over Mr. Dixon's head, implying that Dale would survive if Dixon kept Perry happy. Once Perry recognized the extent of control he had over Mr. Dixon, he escalated this behavior. On multiple occasions, Mr. Perry actually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Well, there we have an assault right there. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de-escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. Huh? Exactly. Okay, that I'll just change the subject and he'll leave me alone. Are you kidding me? No, no, please don't. Please don't. Okay, let me wait a minute. Chocolate cake. Read it again. Okay, I'm going to read it again. Number 19 says, once Perry recognized the extent of control he had over Mr. Dixon, he escalated this behavior. On multiple occasions, Mr. Perry actually assaulted Mr. Dixon, including one instance where he forcibly pulled off Mr. Dixon's clothing, groped his buttocks, and attempted to force himself on Dixon. Mr. Dixon told a drunken Perry no. Say that again. No. And attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists. Mr. Dixon was only able to escape after de escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. Are you serious? I completely and utterly agree with you, Faith. Just settle for, I mean, just get it over with. You mean to tell me that this little white boy I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh my god. You mean to tell me that this big Mandingo warrior, this big 6'5" brother was able to pull this man's clothes off, hold his wrists, and I mean overpower him basically. And the little white boy, the little thank you, Dr. Charles, for the $3 super sticker. You mean to tell me that this little white boy was able to first he said no and attempted to remove Mr. Perry's hands, but Mr. Perry held tightly onto Dixon's wrists because he's a big Mandingo warrior. You know that, right? Was only able to escape after de escalating the situation by abruptly changing the subject. How did, what? Lawanda says, was Tyler on the show Ruthless as the character the highest? That's my show, okay? That show right there, that makes me think that, that Tyler be living out his best life in the highest. Because that show is unlike no other that he has ever done. He abruptly changed the subject. Period. It's funny. I don't believe. Yes, I have Crystal. I don't want to change the subject, but Ruthless, man, let me tell you, it's not a risque joke. It's risque truth, period. But that show right there, the Ruthless, the show Ruthless, made me look at Tyler a kind of a different kind of way. Because if you think about it, all the other Tyler Perry movies, shows, whatever you want to say, he's never had full frontal nudity of men in any of those other shows ever. If he did, I sure enough didn't see it. But the first time I seen Ruthless and I watched the first few episodes, and that one brother that played the FBI dude that infiltrated the compound, and the highest had to enlighten him when we know what that meant. The highest had to enlighten him. I don't know if he had other writers, Eye of Crystal, but it was still his show. He still had the final say as to what was done on that show. You've got the highest that has to, how do I put it? He had to lay with the men in order to enlighten them. That's what the act of enlightenment was, that he had to penetrate. He had to penetrate a man. And this is in a show that he has created. Very Angelina, it was crazy. I I've I think that is the one show that I have seen anywhere that had that much frontal nudity of men. About all the Queen's men, yeah, all the Queen's men is pretty rough. But I have never seen that much frontal nudity of a man on any television show more than Ruthless. I agree with Faith. I don't think he's a predator. I think he just likes men. And this is a man that has denounced being gay or bisexual for quite some time, but then again has spoken numerous times of his trauma as a younger man and being molested. Yeah, Ruthless took the cake. They love me. Yeah, you know what, Carmela? It could be a number of things. It could definitely be a number of things, but the bottom line is this. It could be something nefarious on his part, on the white boy's part, or somebody else's part. And if it has something to do with Angie, then it's ain't about this. All this is a smokescreen to prevent him from moving forward if he is in fact trying to help Angie's family. Because Tyler Perry's a billionaire, but them folks up there that's been stealing royalties for years and years and years and years, they've been running around with fat pockets long before Tyler came along on the scene. Yes, Eye of Crystal, Madam is fire. And so is them brothers that's dancing. Oh my goodness. Anywho, like I was saying, let me read some more. Let me calm down. The day after, this is number 20, the day after the assault, Mr. Perry called and texted Mr. Dixon relentlessly, saying, "Tried you? Call me. And I really need to talk to you. Please call as soon as you can." Finally, when Mr. Dixon answered Tyler Perry's call, Mr. Perry profusely apologized for the assault while blaming it on other things. Perry continued, he didn't know why he would do that. Maybe he was self-sabotaging. On the very same call, where he apologized for the actual assault against Dixon, Perry told Dixon, "And don't worry, we're going to do your show," referring to the pilot that Perry knew Mr. Dixon had desperately wanted to produce. Shortly thereafter, Mr. Dixon got a call from Perry's lawyer saying that Christmas had come early and that Dixon was getting a substantial raise, and the show was greenlit. Perry's attorney explicitly warned Dixon not to tell any other actor on the show about Dixon's raise because no other actors were getting a raise. Just Dixon. Only Dixon. Here we go. Here's another text. Perry kept telling Dixon that he was sorry and that the harassment would not happen again. However, The harassment and assaults continued. Mr. Perry would also try to deflect the blame for the actual assault by saying that Dixon didn't have a strong enough no. Let's read this text. Nice, Santa Monica is nice. I'm glad you're going out there. How is your no? Is it stronger? You got to have a strong no. So Derek says, yes, it's strong. My mom literally thinks I'm going to sell my soul to the Illuminati. She heard Kanye say that it's real. Okay, I'm not even following the whole connection with that, but okay. Mommy thinks it's Illuminati. So Tyler says, well, I don't think that, but I do think that you have to be able to say no and mean it and make it clear. And then he says, I'll only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. Ooh wee. Did y'all hear that? Tyler says, well, I don't think that, but I do think that you have to be able to say no and mean it and make it clear. And Derek says, I'll only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. But then he says, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. I hear you. Flirting back and forth. But look what he said, though. I'll only say yes. In other words, I'll give you the draws if I get an Oscar. As long as I can get an Oscar. If you can promise me an Oscar, I'll bend over. Money grab. Booty grab. That's a money grab, but it's a booty grab. And right after that, he says, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Just kidding, sorry. I don't mean it. I hear you. So Tyler says, and after that, well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through sex is in prison. So just stick to the no, unless you are really into him. So from what I gather, he was referring to Harvey Weinstein. Because remember, Harvey Weinstein, he was the one that had the casting couch. And this guy says, I'll only say yes if it gets me an Oscar. Well, they ain't handing out Oscars to Tyler Perry movies these days. Well, the only one who could have gotten that for you through sex is in prison. In other words, the only one that could have got that for you is Weinstein, and he's in prison. So just stick to the no, unless you are really into him. Interesting. So this is how they explain it in the lawsuit. Dixon did not know how to answer without facing retaliation, cancellation of his production contract, or perhaps being deleted on the show. So instead, Dixon made a joke out of the situation, stating that I'll only say yes to blank if it gets me an Oscar. In response, Tyler Perry stated, the only one who could have gotten that, the Oscar, for you through sex, is in prison. So just stick to the no unless you are really into him. Emphasis added. Perry reveals through these text messages that the no he was referring to was Dixon's no to sex in exchange for promotion in the industry, classically known as quid pro quo sexual harassment. Perry sent this message to Dixon because that is exactly what Tyler Perry was doing. At some point, Dixon left Atlanta and moved to Santa Monica to create distance from Tyler Perry. However, even at long distances, Mr. Perry continued to actually harass Mr. Dixon. Wow. This basically goes over the names of those involved. This is awful. Awful business. Excuse me. Awful, awful business. Yes, Carol, they were both doing way too much. Way too much. You want an update in this story? I would be glad to give it to you, sweetheart. Let's see. Alfreda said, Mr. Dixon tipping toe through the tulips. Tyler Perry gave Dixon what he wanted of foreplay. Many record companies stealing the artist's money for years to keep more money in their pockets. Absolutely right. Many record companies stealing the artist's money for years to keep more money in their pocket. That's amazing. Dr. Charles said, that doesn't even sound like Tyler's character. But then again, you know what? Like I said, Doctor, I don't know too many men that's going to wait 4 years to get them draws, even if it's another man. This dude here held on to these text messages for 4 years. It's very conceivable that it wasn't harassment at all, that he gave up them draws. He just didn't publicly let it be known. Who's to say? Big dummy. Oh my goodness, Faith, you kill me. Yeah, big dummy. But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you don't be surprised if you hear something else in the near future. Very near future. Yes, I agree, Carol. I heard someone else say that yesterday. This is probably the first of a few, because all it takes is one. One does it, and then here comes another one. Oh, 260 million? A clear setup. Amen. Yep. Oh. Absolutely. We don't, you know what? You're right. Real Life Chronicles says we don't know any of these people personally. We can't speak on any of their characters. You're absolutely right. But you know what I can speak on? Common sense. Plain and common sense. I'm looking at the fact that this dude waited 4 years to come out with this stuff. It reminds me of Monica Lewinsky holding on to that dress with that DNA of Bill Clinton. We know what she was doing up under that desk. And she was loving every minute of it because she kept doing it until she couldn't do it no more. So she confided in somebody who dropped the ball. And then she went into that closet to get her insurance policy. This was his insurance policy. You know, people that hold on to evidence like this, they use it for a reason. They keep it for a reason. Hell, with this, Tyler might just come out if he is sugar. That'll save him out of this mess. I'm just saying. Yeah, you know what, doctor? If he is rolling that way or partially that way, just tell the truth. Just stop. Stop with the cap. Stop saying, I'm not, I'm not, I'm not. And then stuff like this comes out. Yes, Faith, you made your husband wait for 5 years, but you ain't in Hollyweird. A lot of us make our husbands wait. You know. Let me see. Auntie, what's the comedian's name we were told about him that these folks will all be revealed? It's happening. Yes, that would be Cat Williams. Prophet. Prophet Cat Williams. He told Shannon Sharp, all lies will be revealed. That's what he said. And they've been revealing ever since. Now I'm just joking that, Cat ain't no prophet. I ain't gonna front. But it sure is ironic. He said he collects receipts. He makes it a habit of collecting receipts. Absolutely, they love me. Absolutely. So yes, if he was holding on to these text messages, he was holding on to them for an insurance policy. Something to bring in a big payday. And like I said about the other guy could be in on it. The one that sent him that way in the first place. Because this man was a waiter for the other guy that sends people his way. So that leads me to believe that this was not the first person that this guy sent Tyler's way. Oh, they did, Carmelo? She says they had a segment on TV 2 days ago, very informative about Angie Stone. I would have liked, I would have liked to seen that. Where was that at, Carmela? You know who I want to hear from? Shame on me. I'm going to say it anyway. Monique. Monique. I wonder what Monique has to say about all this now. Actually, Auntie, he didn't lie, though. Those receipts can get you trouble like it did P. Diddy. Yep, that's true. You talking about the receipts he said he collects? You talking about Cat Williams? All you got to do is call her. She waiting. I don't know Monique's number. Y'all ain't gonna put me up to something like that. I don't know how to interview people. Auntie Monique. I would love to have her here, though. I would love to have her here just to hear what does she think right now. How do you feel right now? I can't imagine her feeling vindicated because that man really does owe her an apology at the end of the day. Even though we heard that recording and he acknowledged that what he said was wrong or what he did was wrong. No, just the one PD saved tapes and all. I'm not following you on that one, sweetie. No, just the one PD saved tapes and all. You talking about P. Diddy? LaWanda, you think I should try to reach out to Monique? Ah, yes, she is. She's sitting back with a glass of Henny. I might even have to. I have to give her some of my Cavassier on top of it. How about that? We can sit back and whoop they behinds. Carl Luther's issue, but bring it up for today's modern day and address it. Just not talk about it. It's not an easy dilemma he's in. He's made billions off of the church, so it is a bit hypocritical. Okay. Period. I'm not quite understanding what you mean, hun. Core. Luther's issue. But bring it up for today's modern day and address it. Just not talk about it. It's not an easy dilemma he's in. He's made billions off of the church, so it is a bit hypocritical. They love me. She probably said, I told y'all he ain't right. Oh my goodness. You know what, Angelina? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm really going to try. I'm going to see what I can do to find her. She's a busy woman, and I'm not trying to be embarrassed. Hey, Kawana. Oh, Leo, you used to drink that? The Cavassier? Pass the Cavassier. Pass the Cavassier. I just have it in the bottom drawer. I don't even drink it. Every now and then I might put my finger in it. That's about it. Oh, I have Crystal. I agree. And like I say, they need to invest more in our black women and children. Amen to that. Amen to that. I completely agree with that one. Huh. Let me see something here. Did I miss this? Huh. That's a lot. That's a lot. This happened back in 2019? Oh my good. Would y'all like to hear the factual allegations real quick? Put a 1 in the chat if you would like me to read the factual allegations. This goes back to when this all started. Put a 1 in the chat if you would like me to read the factual allegations. Oh, core was a correction, an abbreviation from an earlier statement. No biggie. I meant he's afraid of coming out. I think he would be fine. Exactly, period. Look, today's society, he would be just fine. He would probably be even more respected the way society is nowadays. He would be more well loved. He just comes from a time where it was frowned upon. But he don't have to live that way. All right, I got a bunch of 1s in the chat. Yep, you right, LaWanda. He just gonna blend in. At least he be truthful. Okay, We're going to go with the factual allegations. Let me pull this up. I'm sorry. Factual allegations, number 50. There we go, right here. Let me move this up a little bit. Ooh, too bad, so sad. Okay. In or around September 2019, plaintiff worked for an event company called Legendary Events in Atlanta that was hired to organize defendant Perry's studio opening party, The Party. Plaintiff was recruited by Tony Conway. That's the dude's name. Tony Conway. There it is, right there. There's something about that name, boy. Tony Conway. Tony Con. Tony Con. Shut up, Mickey. Stop it. I digress. The owner of Legendary Events and close friend of Tyler Perry. Mr. Conway decided to place Dixon directly in a role at a party that required frequent conversations with Tyler Perry. So he set it up. This boy right here, Tony Conway. This name right here, it just has a ring to it that's so familiar. Tony the Conway. Tony Conway. Tony. Okay, never mind. Number 51. Defendant Perry picked plaintiff out of a crowd of employees present at the party and began asking plaintiff questions about his employment status and whether plaintiff was an actor. In or around early October, and on the last day of the party, how many days did this party go? Really? Okay. On the last day of the party, defendant Perry insisted that he and plaintiff exchange phone numbers, and Perry subsequently texted plaintiff to introduce himself. He didn't do that at the party. How come he didn't do that at the party? Like, I don't know you, Tyler Perry. I don't know that's you giving. I don't know that it's Tyler Perry giving me his phone number. We exchanging phone numbers, but you need to introduce yourself to me. I didn't know that there was such a thing. Yeah, they love me. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. Perry began by asking Dixon about his dreams and aspirations. Dixon told Perry that he was interested in acting and writing. Perry then told Dixon to do an audition over the phone and send it to Perry. Huh? Wait a minute. Anybody ever done an audition over the phone? I have never in my life. I have never all my life heard of somebody doing an audition over the phone, especially to somebody as big as Tyler Perry. Then Lord, Perry then told Dixon to do an audition over the phone and send it to Perry. Lord Jesus. Dixon told Perry he was at a Halloween party. Perry asked to see pictures of Dixon in costume, and Dixon complied. When Perry saw the pictures, he texted Dixon, "I was going to say, your cowboy needs a sugar daddy." Perry continued with, "You look great. You're just lacking costume parts. Sorry, don't want to offend. Dixon responded, not at all. It's so true. Half-assed costume. To which Perry replied, what's true? Cowboy needs a sugar daddy, implying that Perry wanted to be Dixon's sugar daddy. Dixon quickly shut down those comments by reiterating what he said earlier, that the truth was that he was lacking costume parts. Let me read that again, because that don't sound like he shut anything down. Because if Perry is coming this hard down on this boy, insinuating he needs a sugar daddy, Dixon quickly shut down those comments by reiterating what he said earlier, that the truth was that he was lacking costume parts. Do that make any sense to you? That makes entirely no sense. That does not say, oh no, I'm not interested in anything you're talking about. That's cute, but nice to meet you. Shortly thereafter, Dixon's boss at Legendary Events called Dixon and told him that Tyler Perry was having another event in Los Angeles and specifically wanted Mr. Dixon to fly from Atlanta to Los Angeles to work on the event. Excited for the opportunity to fly to Los Angeles, Dixon was flattered and jumped on the opportunity to meet Tyler Perry again. Wait a minute right there. Hold up. For real? That is the biggest crock of crap I have ever heard. You just said in this last sentence. White boy, please. Cowboy needs a sugar daddy, implying that Perry wanted to be Dixon's sugar daddy. Dixon quickly shut down those comments by reiterating what he said earlier, that the truth was that he was lacking costume parts. Shortly thereafter, Dixon's boss at Legendary Events called Dixon and told him that Tyler Perry wants you to come to this party. It didn't work like he did before. He wants you to fly from Atlanta to LA and work this event. And the man that got hit on in the last paragraph, when 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 Perry indicated that he needed a sugar daddy and he so-called shut him down, he is then excited for the opportunity to fly to Los Angeles. He was flattered and jumped on the opportunity to meet Tyler Perry again after he hit on you. Huh? That is the biggest crock of you know what that I have ever heard. Shortly after doing the event on November 3rd, 2019, defendant Perry sent plaintiff several text messages that he would love to find plaintiff a job and change plaintiff's life, insisting that they should make it happen. Perry sent Dixon what turned out to be an ominous warning. Be careful hanging around me. I cause dreamers to dream bigger. I cause them to not only believe, but do. Then let's make it happen. You're an artist. You have to be fulfilled. Nothing else will suffice. The very next day, defendant Perry sent an email which contained an offer for plaintiff to play the role of Dale in Perry's television series ruthless. Really? Perry said it was a small role that could get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the first stage in a series of escalating quid pro quo offers. At this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for a actual relationship. Well, that's a lie. That don't you think that was a lie? You gone Millionaire's Cove. I'll see you tomorrow, sweetheart. Tomorrow's game night. We gonna play something. I don't know yet, but we gonna play something. But ain't this a lie? At this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for an actual relationship. But he said up here, either you stupid or stupider. If a man tells another man to do an audition over the phone, for one thing, and then later on he asked to see pictures of Dixon in his costume, and Dixon complied. He sent this man pictures of himself in a cowboy outfit. And when Perry saw the pictures, he texted to Dixon, I was going to say, your cowboy needs a sugar daddy. Perry continued with, you look great. You're just lacking costume parts. Sorry, I don't want to offend. Dixon says, not at all. It's so true, half-assed costume. To which Perry replied, what's true? Cowboy needs a sugar daddy? Implying that Perry wanted to be Dixon's sugar daddy. After all that conversation, and you mean to tell me after all that, and he fly you out again? He gonna fly you out again for a party, and you say the very next day defendant Perry sent an email which contained an offer for plaintiff to play the role of Dale in Perry's television series Ruthless. Perry said it was a small role that could get a lot bigger, thereby setting up the first stage in a series of escalating quid pro quo offers. At this point, after all this that done already happened up here, I like your outfit and you need a sugar daddy. After all that, at this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for an actual relationship. Well, my God, what did he have to do? Stick it in your mouth for you to figure it out? Really? Nope. Tyler didn't follow protocol, but you know what? This boy right here, he's a bona fide liar. He didn't know. He, at this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for a relationship, a pokey poke relationship. Dixon assumed that Tyler Perry was genuinely a caring person who discovered the talent that Dixon always felt he had. Bull. Y'all, please. I'm gonna say it in advance. I'm about to say a curse word. Okay? I'm calling straight up bullshit on that right there. I'm calling straight up bullshit on that right there. Ladies, if a man whispers to you, or I'm sorry, not whispers, if a man, as you're walking down the street, starts whistling, "Hey, mommy, how you doing? Hey, baby, what's up? What's your number?" Are you going to then say, "I didn't know he was interested in me. I didn't know he liked women. He just did everything indicative of a man who's interested in something that this dude had. The booty. I didn't know he was interested in me." Man, I'm so done. I done read enough. I done read enough of this fool. You ain't gonna sit up here and lie in my face or anybody else's face and say that you didn't know that he liked men and he said you needed a sugar daddy and gave you a role practically overnight. You are an unexperienced actor that he met working as a waiter. At this point, Dixon did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for an actual relationship. Dixon assumed that Tyler Perry was genuinely a caring person who discovered the talent that Dixon always felt he had. Bull. Dixon filmed his roles in Ruthless in mid-November and went back to his job as an event staff for legendary events. Approximately 1 month later, Amen, Faith. Approximately 1 month later, Perry bought and gave Dixon a new car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. How do you know about Dixon's Jeep? How did he know about Dixon having a Jeep? How did he know what it looked like to hate it? It says Perry bought and gave Dixon a new car. This is a month later from when he did the little thing on Ruthless in mid-November. He went back home and started working those tables again. And Tyler went and bought this man a new car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. How did he know about Dixon's Jeep? Doesn't that mean they'd have had to been in contact with each other? Does that make sense? How would he know about Dixon's Jeep? See, Clear Boy here ain't telling the whole story, because this timeline is BS. Dixon was surprised and elated. Dixon had no idea that he was being set up by Perry for extreme dependence. Dixon had no idea that he was being set up by Perry for extreme dependence. How about Perry didn't realize that you were setting him up to take him down? Dixon was surprised and elated. Dixon had no idea that he was being set up by Perry for extreme dependence. This is all in 2019. In December of 2019, Dixon was requested to be part of the event staff at another event at Perry's home in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Yes. After that event, as a matter of fact, yeah, he's still requesting this dude to come do events at his house. This one's in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. He flies him there. After that event, Perry started frequently sending text messages, making phone calls, and demanding that Dixon give Perry some attention. I wonder why, because you bought him a car. You bought him a car. Least you could do is say thank you. On Now, this is December of 2019. On New Year's Eve 2019, Tyler Perry texted Dixon, "I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas, or went to the supermarket, or fly commercial, or packed a bag, or had good sex. It was before I was rich." Dixon found these messages to be strange and untowardly, coming from someone like Tyler Perry. But being new to the industry, Dixon played along by downplaying the actual comments and hoping that being around Perry would allow him to showcase his talents as an actor and writer. Bull. You ain't gonna sit up here and lie to us and tell me that this man just out of the blue gave you a little role in Ruthless after meeting you. Y'all still texting back and forth, but you ain't releasing all those text messages. What did you say? Exactly. Faith, he did. He did that to his employee, but remember, he was writing to this dude before he employed him. He was pushing up on this boy before he employed him. So the relationship, technically, the push up was before the employment. If it's the way it sounds in this document. Let's go back to November 3rd, 2019. Let's go back to let's go to the beginning of when all this started. September 2019 is when he met Tyler Perry for the first time. So September 2019 went on to in early October, because he ended up having him come back to do another party. He's not employed by him at this point. He was employed by Legendary Events. He was employed by Tony Conway, the owner of Legendary Events and close friend of Tyler Perry. And it was Mr. Conway that decided to put Dixon directly in a role at the party that required frequent conversation with Tyler Perry. He set it up. But this boy wasn't working for Tyler when they first started kicking it. You're right. He did send it once they were employees, but let's be real about it. The relationship, the flirtations happened before he became employed. And yes, he did keep sending them flirting, but somebody reciprocated. Somebody reciprocated, because that boy didn't have to accept that car. That boy didn't have to accept that nice apartment. I'm just saying, don't get got if you don't want to get kept. Uh-huh. And who's to say that it was Tyler that was sending the messages all along? I'm just saying, this sounds so one-sided to me. You can't sit up here and act, you a grown ass man. You are not going to sit up here and tell me that you are so oblivious to game that you didn't realize that this man was pushing up on you. And you just went on with it because you had a greater goal. It wasn't the booty. It was what the booty could buy you. Let's have some church here. Yes, absolutely. He fell for the okey doke. Tyler should have been much more careful. But remember, this took a few years. This took a few years for it to get to this point. This has been going on for a minute. If he can prove it wasn't him, then he has nothing to worry about. Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure it was Tyler. But the way that this lawsuit reads is that here we've got this little white man here, and I'm just so innocent, and I used to wait tables, and the big black man hired me, and he made me take all those gifts, and he gave me the wonderful car because he didn't like my Jeep. When did I tell him about my Jeep? Did I lose that text message? I think I did. We don't see a text message about that. So that means that he had conversations with this man, aside from the ones that he's showing in this lawsuit. Now, what was said during those conversations? Why did Tyler know that this man had a Jeep? And why did he not like the Jeep? This is all strategic. Poor little man. I'm such a scary little, I'm cute. I'm cute. But he's so big, and he's such a big black man, and I was so overcome. I was afraid. I was afraid that if I didn't make him happy, that I would never get a job, even though he gave me a job over the phone. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is a joke. This is truly a joke. But maybe it ain't. This is funny to me. Must be nice. This little boy must be fine. Boy, Tyler was just enamored with this guy. You just forgot all about protocol. You got all these employees working under you, and you just threw it away on this little piece of tail, if that's what you want to call it. If that's what you want to call it. That part, Faith. That part right there. But see, Who's to say it wasn't quid pro quo, just like they said in this lawsuit? Quid pro quo basically means you scratch my back, I scratch yours. The beginning of this is just hilarious to me. Downright hilarious. It's not the things that they're saying, it's what they're not saying. On New Year's Eve, 2019, Tyler Perry texted Dixon, "I can't tell you the last time I pumped gas, or went to the supermarket, or flied commercial, or packed a bag, or had good sex. It was before I was rich." Dixon found these messages to be strange and untowardly coming from someone like Tyler Perry, but being new to the industry, Dixon played along by downplaying the actual comments and hoping that being around Perry would allow him. I'm going to say that again. Dixon played along by downplaying the actual comments and hoping that being around Perry would allow him to showcase his talents as an actor and writer. Soon after, Dixon began giving Perry more attention. Tell on yourself, buddy. Perry made his move on Dixon. In January of 2020, just a few months after his first acting gig, Perry invited plaintiff to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Plaintiff showed up to the home, hoping that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor Dixon was. Get out of here. Dude just invited you to his house. The more I read this, the more it sounds like it's a comic book. In January of 2020, just a few months after his first acting gig, Perry invited plaintiff to his home in Douglasville County, Georgia. Plaintiff showed up to the home hoping that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor Dixon was. Now, was that before or after he bought you a new car? Let's see. When did he buy him that car? Because he hated that Jeep. When was that? Yeah, every time he called him, he was so excited. Where is that part when he said he bought that Jeep? I mean, he bought that car because he didn't like that Jeep. Oh, approximately 1 month later, Perry bought and gave Dixon a new car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. A month after Ruthless, which was actually in mid-November. He met him in September of 2019. So come mid-November, Tyler's buying the dude a new car because he didn't like his Jeep. Then in December of 2019, Dixon was requested to be part of the event staff at another event at Perry's home in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. After that event, Perry started frequently sending text messages, making phone calls, and demanding that Dixon give Perry some attention. Then on New Year's 2019, Tyler Perry texted Dixon, I, I can't tell you the last time I did all this stuff that broke people do. I ain't flown, I ain't went to the grocery store, I ain't packed a bag, I ain't even had no good nookie. That was before I was rich. Absolutely. This is Croc. January 2020. This man done bought you a car. And plaintiff showed up at the home hoping that he would be given a chance to befriend Perry and show him how talented an actor Dixon was. I think you passed that point by now, buddy. He done bought you a car. He done gave you a role in a small role in a TV show. And now you going to his house. You're invited to his house in Georgia. And you want to be given a chance to befriend him and show him just how talented you are. At Perry's home, Dixon was served many alcoholic drinks, which Perry also partook in. Dixon felt that Perry was genuinely interested in Dixon's talents as an actor and writer. Perry made no blankual advances at Dixon while they were drinking, and the conversation was friendly. At the end of the night, Perry told Dixon not to drive home. Perry said it was dangerous and that Dixon was too inebriated to drive home. Dixon agreed and was escorted to a separate guest room, not knowing that this was a ruse to allow Perry to assault Dixon. Dixon was tired and did not have pajamas, so he got into bed only wearing his underwears. Only his underwears. Before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him and start rubbing Dixon's body around his inner thigh in a highly sexual and suggestive manner. Dixon turned around and saw that Tyler Perry was in bed with him. Oh my goodness! At this point, Dixon's stomach started to turn, and he began feeling nauseous. Instinctively, Dixon jumped out of the bed and told Tyler Perry that he wasn't that sexual. Quote, wasn't that sexual, unquote. Tyler Perry ignored the comments and told Dixon to turn around so Perry could see him naked in his underwear. Perry then commented on how beautiful Dixon's body was. Wow, this is wild. Dixon once again told Perry that he was not into sex. Dixon kept informing Perry that he was not into sex in order to keep Perry at bay, while at the same time not insulting the person who was dangling his career in front of him. How's he dangling your career in front of you? He invited you to his house. You didn't say nothing about, well, if you don't do this with me, there goes your spot.
Never fun.
Say what?
Never fun.
Not right now. In response to Dixon's frequent assertions that Dixon was not into sex, Perry started prying further. Perry would then would send Dixon a text message saying, I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. Perry was implying that Dixon would hopefully get past the block in his mind and would let Tyler Perry make love to him. Okay. After that assault in January, Dixon felt betrayed. Perry continued to talk, Perry continued to call or text Dixon every day asking to talk to him more. Dixon ignored Perry, which led Perry to text him, Derek, why don't you text me more? The more Dixon ignored Perry, the more aggressive Perry became, until finally Perry offered Dixon a part in a new show called The Oval. So, so he ignored this dude and ignored this dude and ignored this dude. He wasn't working for this dude at the time. Oh, you want the actual text message, Keyston? Here, I'll read it to you. Here's the actual text message. Read along with me. I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me, I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. That was Tyler. And here's Derek.
Well, it's not this person, but yes, I want that too. I'm working on it. Therapy is helping.
Right. Okay. That's cute. Exactly, Lawanda. The fact that he accepted them gifts. Now, technically, he was not an employee of Tyler Perry. He was not an employee of Tyler Perry when he invited him to his house. He didn't get this role on the Oval until after he ignored Tyler for pulling his drawers off at the house. At this point, Dixon's stomach started to turn and he began feeling nauseous. Instinctively, Dixon jumped out of bed and told Tyler Perry that he wasn't that sexual. Tyler Perry ignored the comments and told Dixon to turn around so Perry could see him naked in his underwear. Perry then commented on how beautiful Dixon's body was. He was not employed by Tyler at this time. The therapy was, he told, Eye of Crystal, this dude told, he told him that he's in therapy because he's not into sex. That's what he told Tyler. So, Dixon once again told Perry that he was not into sex. Dixon kept informing Perry that he was not into sex in order to keep Perry at bay, while at the same time not insulting the person who was dangling his career in front of him. What career, dude? You wasn't working for him. You just said, man, this dude is straight up lying. He was not working for him at the time. The role that he got was a one-time little bit part on Ruthless. Tyler Perry has this guy come over to his house. Just them. He come talking about, I was so excited to be able to show him how good of an actor I am. How do we know that this guy doesn't have previous traumas? I don't know. I don't know if he did or he didn't, but he didn't seem to have a problem going to Tyler Perry's house, going to Tyler Perry's events where he was, to work for his employer, his real employer at the time, which was the event planning company. It says Dixon filmed his roles in Ruthless in mid-November, and went back to his job as an event staff for legendary events. The roles on Ruthless were just in mid-November, and then he went back to work as a waiter. Approximately 1 month after that, Perry bought him a doggone car because he hated Dixon's Jeep. That all tells me that he kept in contact. They kept in contact with each other. He was not considered he couldn't have been considered an employee, Faith, not before the role with the Oval. Now with the Oval, that's a different story. That was long term. On YouTube, it starts off at 27. Angie Stone's son unveils shocking autopsy 6 days ago. Oh no. Well, y'all, I've had it. Enough of this. Yeah, he looks at it as a career, but technically it wasn't until he got hired on to the Oval. So everything that took place before that is a moot point. It's very clear that he kept Tyler Perry on a short leash. He kept him close. That part, LaWanda. Keyston, he claims he was. Dixon sees it as a career because of the private banter between them in private. That don't make no. Was he getting a check for that? If it was a career, wouldn't he be getting a check? Just for talking privately. Did he get a check for that? He knew what this was. This was quid pro quo. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Absolutely, I agree. Tyler Perry did know better. But when we're looking at a law with the law, and you want $260 million, you have to explain some of your own little antics in here before you get to asking for that kind of money. Because he ain't no victim up to this point. He ain't no victim up to this point. Ooh-wee. Anyway, I'm just going to end it at this. This is amazing to me. I'm going to read the rest of this tonight. And if you guys want to go over it again or stop at this point and pick it up later, I'd be happy to do that. Oh my goodness. Maybe before he knew what was happening, Dixon felt someone else slip into bed behind him. Ooh-wee. Shame on you. Okay, this is the part where, yeah. What's his name felt betrayed by what Tyler did. Perry was not able to control Dixon so long as Dixon had a secondary income that was providing for his basic needs. Oh, on February 11, 2020, Perry told Dixon to quit his job at Legendary Events and come work exclusively for Perry. Perry was not able to control Dixon so long as Dixon had a secondary income that was providing for his basic needs. Once Dixon quit his job due to his role on the Oval, Perry started getting more and more personal with Dixon, knowing that Dixon was now under his control. At this point, he's an employee. At this point right here. But see, you have to also look at what happened before all this. They're just men, the young and the stupid. Oh my goodness. This is something else, I tell you. Well, y'all, it's that amount because they want a good amount, but they want to let him know they're going to try to take him down. Of course, they're going to try to take him down. What'd you say, LaWanda? What'd he do? Say no? No, he didn't say no. He took that job. He took that job. He took that job. He claimed he assaulted first in 2020. Well, technically, the assault would have been when he climbed into bed with him. Oop. He was assaulted before he went to the Oval in February. Wait, no. Let me make sure I get this timeline right. When did he climb into bed with him? It was in January of 2020. Just a few months after his first acting gig. Perry invited plaintiff to his home in Douglasville County. That's where he climbed into bed with the old dude here. And Perry tried to pull his drawers off. And my boy said, no, stop. I'm not into it. I don't do it. I don't do that. Young and the stupid. Oh, goodness. Thank you, Chris the Flash. Shy Talk. Hope all is well. Thank you. Thank you for the $1.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. Yes, harassment was going on. He just looking for attention from Tyler, and Tyler was looking for attention from him. Yeah. Yes. Sounds like some kind of SH, you know what? Shit. That's what it is. You shit. They was both doing the most. They was both doing the most. I think this guy didn't get what everything he wanted out of what he could get from Tyler. It just wasn't enough. Had to have more. Assaulted him but accepted a car and apartment. Yes. A nice apartment. And another role in a bigger television show. That part. Imagine that. Unbelievable. That's when he got the role. That's when he got the role for the Oval. But that's the part that kills me. This guy sounds like he's so innocent. Dixon was intrigued and was hoping that this would be the big break that he was looking for and a chance for him to display his acting talent. I know how to act. Wow. Once Dixon quit his job due to his role on the Oval, Perry started getting more and more personal with Dixon, knowing that Dixon was now under his control. Perry would often say things like, I give and give and give, and no one ever does anything for me in return. No one ever gives me what I want or what I need, implying that Dixon was not giving him sex. Perry stated asking Dixon about Dixon's preferences and what role Dixon took on when engaging in acts, i.e., whether he was a top or a bottom, which in actual terms means whether Dixon preferred to give or receive booty. Ugh. Perry further indicated to Dixon that he had with men before and that he was a top. Okay, I'm sorry. Perry started asking Dixon about Dixon's actual preferences and what role Dixon took on when engaging in actual acts, i.e., whether he was a top or a bottom, which in actual terms means whether Dixon preferred to give or receive anal. Perry further indicated to Dixon that he had X with men before and that he was a top. Perry further told Dixon that when you have a big and when you hit the G spot right on these bottoms, they go crazy. Okay, this is enough. I've had enough. Tyler, you're nasty. You're nasty. You're nasty. He was a topper, yes. Or was he a bottom? I don't even know the difference. Somebody got to take it and somebody got to give it. So, was he a giver or a taker? He was a top. Okay, so when they talk about whether he was on top or bottom, which in sexual terms means whether Dixon preferred to give or receive, that don't tell me which is which. See, that goes how much I know. A top is a giver. Like a cherry on the top. Tyler was a topper. Okay. Well, I tell you, this is nasty. This is nasty business. This is really nasty business. But I'm going to leave it right where I left off. Right about there. Okay, so right about here. That's where we left off. Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, all I can say is this. Exactly, Eye of Crystal. All I can do is make fun of it because I just can't sit here and just talk about it like it's normal. It's not normal behavior to me. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie. Nothing against the LGBTQ community. Y'all do what you want to do. You do you, boo boo. and I do me. Anyhow, y'all, we've been at this for 3 hours and 30 minutes, and I think it's about time to shut it down. Yes. I want to thank all y'all for coming. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to put together a game for tomorrow night because you know Friday nights is game night. And we going to pick them up and put them down. And if we want to go over this case some more, you do you, boo-boo. Oh my goodness. But again, I thank everybody that hung out with me this evening. This is truly the last straw. And you know what? We still didn't get a chance to talk about that movie. But we will. We will. It'll give more people. We'll give more people time to see it. How about that? Because a lot of people didn't get a chance to see it yet. So we're going to definitely talk about that movie eventually. But tomorrow night, we're going to try to stick to what we usually do is Friday nights is fun night. It's game night. And I'm going to come up with something. Be it name that tune, name that movie, name that, I don't know. I don't want to go name that predator. I mean, there's not too many of those that we have to choose from. But, you know, that would be a short game. Anyhow, this is the movie, huh? But again, I want to thank everybody that participated tonight. I appreciate all of your comments. I appreciate that you hung with me for 3 hours and 32 minutes. Yes, it's really ruthless. And anybody that donated with super chats and super stickers, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for your donations and your support. So with that said, I'm gonna get out of this chair. I'm gonna go. TP is the billionaire president of the Alphabet Club. I love you too, Faith. I love all of you guys. You guys take care. Until tomorrow night, you take care. Peace.
Hey Mickey, hey Mickey. Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you got my mind. Oh Mickey, you're so fine, you. Oh Mickey, you're so fine.
Hit the like button, it don't cost you nothing.